focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. CNBC TV 18 presents Digital India Vision 7.0, powered by MasterCard, ushering in India's Techade on 24th August 2022.
Data is pervasive, ubiquitous, and growing in a manner that is difficult to gauge. Humans every day are generating 2.5 quintillions of data bytes. Businesses are now fast turning this data deluge and converting it into meaningful information to make informed business decisions. According to IDC, 40% of the organizations will implement dedicated cloud services either on-premises, on-prem, or with a service provider's facility, pushing India's agenda of strengthening and making it a hub for cloud services. Network 18 has been at the forefront to highlight the success of Digital India's mission through its Digital India vision. Today, we have with us Puneet Chandok, President of AWS India and South Asia. Puneet, thank you very much for joining us. This Digital India mission has been a key enabler for improving the quality of life, for digitally empowering India's economy as well as society. Wanted to get your thoughts in as we start this conversation.
Listen, Nima, first of all, thank you for having me. Absolutely thrilled to be here as part of the conversation with you today. Listen, hand on my heart, I truly believe Digital India mission is one of the most critical initiatives that this government has undertaken in the last, or any government in India has undertaken in the last decade. In my book, it's setting up India to be an even bigger power than we already are. And when I think of the impact of Digital India on Indians, there are three words that come to my mind. First is access, second is empowerment, and third is growth. And let me unpack each of these three for you. If you think about access, right, Digital India basically is the infrastructure highway that we've built, which is driving connectivity, innovation, and inclusion in India like never before. Right? It's putting the power of technology and information into the hands of 1.4 billion Indians. So it is truly the digital infrastructure, the highway. We've always have had potential as Indians, but I think with Digital India, we now have access. If you look at the numbers, right, over 900 million internet users in India, that's a penetration of over 60%. By the way, this number is projected to get to 1.3 billion, so we'll add 400 million users, which is more than the population of most countries in the world except India and China, right? So that's the scale of what we're building. By the way, 370 million of the internet users today come from rural areas, so it's broad-based. And with this, India is becoming an even stronger democracy, if you will, right? Because we're seeing democratization of technology, we're seeing democratization of talent, and we're seeing ultimately democratization of impact, right? So that's access. The second is empowerment, as I said. Today, Indian masses control their own destiny, right? They're not dependent on others. They're not operating in constraints. Anyone from a student sitting in a dorm in a small city in India or a farmer in rural India can truly access technology and build life-changing solutions. And it's not just about building solutions, right? If you look at some of the services that are available today, e-hospitals, which is revolutionizing healthcare in India, making it possible for every Indian to get access to healthcare, e-Pathshala, which is helping education get democratized across the country. We've got BHIM and Jan Dhan Yojana, again, remarkable successes, right? So across healthcare, education, financial inclusion, through Digital India, we're seeing empowerment of the nation. And these basic rights are now in the hands of our people, right? It's no longer a privilege to have these. It is truly in the hands of Indians. And then the third facet is growth. As Digital India and capabilities improve and connectivity becomes more and more mainstream, technology will quickly and radically change every sector of India's economy. Right, and it's not just for businesses, but even for individuals, right? And we're going to see more and more jobs being created. There's a recent McKinsey study which said we'll have 65 million, up to 65 million new jobs by 2025. That's a massive, massive number. And if I put all of these three together, access is the first step. It's about leveling the playing field that digital infrastructure is doing in India. Empowerment is the second step. It's about pulling the power of internet and information into the hands of millions of individuals. And then ultimately it leads to growth, which is the third part. Growth for individuals and growth for the country, and that's how India moves forward.
Puneet, India has emerged as a powerhouse when it comes to digital payments. UPI has been a game changer. How can we replicate the success that we've seen in fintech to other areas, say like education, healthcare, public services?
It's a great question again, Rima. And I was actually seeing some statistics on this recently, and I was astounded to say the least, right? It just, as of May 2022, India has made over 98 billion, and that's billion with a B, UPI transactions. And it's not the value that I'm talking about, it's the number of transactions, right? And that roughly translates to 70 lifetime transactions on an average for every single person in the country at 98 billion transactions, right? In terms of value, we've crossed $2.1 trillion. So UPI has just been incredible and been a massive success. And India is now being lauded as a global guru of payments and is helping other governments to build something similar, which is incredible. To your question on how do we replicate, but before we get to the replication, right, I think it's important to understand why UPI has really worked and what's really behind this. And I think to me, it comes down to three aspects: interoperability, security, and public-private partnerships. If you look at interoperability, right, that's the single most important facet of UPI payments, and which has created a lot of adoptions, right, across merchants, users. What UPI has done is created a low friction, low latency, high availability system, which is seamless, right? So you have a single mobile application for accessing different bank accounts, single click, two-factor authentication, and then you've got availability 24/7, 365 days a year. That I think just reduces friction dramatically. Security has played a big role. UPI has been built on a very secure layer, and it simplifies both authentication and consent. And it's not easy to garner the faith of 1.4 billion Indians, right? And they've been able to do this because they put security at the top. And then third, I think the most interesting part, right? It's UPI is built as a standard open source layer, which enables a lot of innovation on top of UPI. And that is crucial. There has to be an open market which fosters collaboration and innovation like this, right? And that's another big reason why UPI has worked.
I like how you break down everything into three key points. The three key, the cornerstone always boils down to three key principles. But just finally, Puneet, wanted your thoughts on, CNBC TV 18 and this mission that we've been running for the last 7 years, chronicling India's digital journey. Any message that you'd like to leave for our audience?
I'll just say congratulations to you and the entire CNBC TV 18 team. I think Digital India Vision is a terrific initiative. I'm actually thrilled to see all of you and CNBC TV 18 leverage the platform that you have and the reach that you have to keep Digital India front and center for Indians. It's a very relevant topic for us to talk about. You've got an inspiring lineup of speakers. And I think conversations like this, at least for me, get the juices flowing, right? It inspires a lot of action in each of us for our customers, for individuals, for Indians at large, right? And I think conversations like these are important because that's the way you move India forward. That's where you exchange ideas. You get people, you mobilize people towards action. So I'd love to see this continue. Congratulations once again. And I look forward to the version 8.0 and a lot more coming from all of you.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Reema.
Application of technology for a very inclusive growth has been a game changer in India. The government is clearly on a mission to digitize the Indian economy, right? And to leapfrog this even more, I truly believe that the industry and government collaboration becomes even more important than ever before.
CNBC TV 18 presents Digital India Vision 7.0, powered by MasterCard, ushering in India's Techade on 24th August 2022.
With the advent of Digital India program, technology has been evolving at a breakneck speed. At the same time, new technologies are also emerging. The potential and application of technology for inclusive growth has been a game changer for India. The government aims to promote the adoption of tech-based solutions in India's public service sector through specially curated digital upskilling programs for India's public and government officials. Network 18 has been at the forefront to highlight the success of Digital India mission through its Digital India Vision initiative. Today, we have with us Ms. Sindhu Gangadharan, the Senior Vice President, MD at SAP India. Sindhu, thank you very much for joining us. How has SAP Labs partnered with the National E-Governance Program to improve the government's digital capabilities?
Thank you, Reema. Thanks for having me on this call today. And you're right, Reema, we have partnered with the National E-Governance Division, which is the Ministry of Electronics and IT, to set up the SAP Center for Digital Government. And this is right here on our campus at SAP Labs India. And I'm sure you'd agree, Reema, that the application of technology for a very inclusive growth has been a game changer in India. The government is clearly on a mission to digitize the Indian economy, right? And to leapfrog this even more, I truly believe that the industry and government collaboration becomes even more important than ever before. And so also this collective initiative between SAP and the IT ministry will, I believe, enable the next wave of Digital India's inclusive and transformational initiatives. So if I go into the details, what we're trying to do here is really to promote the adoption of technology-based solutions in India's public service sector through specially curated digital upskilling programs for the government officials. And at the SAP Center for Digital Government, our technology experts from SAP will directly engage with public service professionals and conduct training programs on our Bangalore campus. And the center would also focus on capacity building, program management, as well as implementation of Digital India's projects and initiatives, which are undertaken by ministries and departments at the central, but also at the state level. And this is just one of the initiatives through which we look forward to creation of a platform for this multi-stakeholder engagement to support the ambition, if you may will, of a digitally intelligent India. And at SAP Rima, we help businesses in their digital transformation journey. And through this partnership, we are enabling the government of India in their digital transformation goals. And this is a matter of great pride for all of us at SAP.
Sindhu, since you brought up the topic about enterprises going digital and transforming themselves, digitization is not about processes. It's about the culture, the mindset of the leaders, which can drive this transformative change top down. What are the key factors to keep in mind?
Yeah, spot on. I think you rightly mentioned culture. And I think if you just reflect back, Rima, also the pandemic, right? The pandemic was a rude reminder that digitization is clearly the only way to thrive and also in many cases survive in this very volatile global market, irrespective of which industry you pick or whatever business models are being used, right? So during the pandemic, we saw businesses who were agile, who were nimble, who was faster to adopt to this change. They just did not just sail through, but also went on to really be the leaders in their respective industries. And others who were slow to digitization, many of them just lost out in that game, right? And they fizzled out in the process as well. So at SAP, Rima, digital transformation is at the heart of what we do and how we cater to our 500,000 customers that we have worldwide. And coming from that background, for me, enabling the end user, right, the user who's really finally using your products is the most critical part of any digital transformation journey. And we have to always remember that your end users that are the people, right? And they come from diverse backgrounds. They have different stories that kind of make them who they are. They have different needs. They have different work styles. They have different strengths and challenges. And also in my meetings with CIOs, the first question that they always bring up is, hey, what are we doing to empower their end users to do their job better? Now, all smart organizations and enterprises understand that the digital realm is really an extension of the end user and consequently a major factor in the success of how effective work is performed and also business outcomes are being achieved. And so like you rightly said, right, when you're looking at that kind of change, there's many factors and leaders really need to map for their organization, like what's the long-term impact on their business landscape, what's the value of data that you're getting, the business assurance. And like you rightly said, factors like bracing that kind of cultural change needs to be in there, right? And the fact that you're initiating a digital transformation for your organization needs that you need to be prepared to make those kind of major changes, of course, to organizational structure, but the core culture that exists in organizations.
Very well said. Sindhu, just one final word. Any message for the CNBC TV18 audience? CNBC TV18, of course, has been running this mission for the last 7 years, chronicling the government's Digital India mission. Any words?
So on behalf of all of us at SAP, my best wishes to the entire CNBC TV18 group for the success of the Digital India Vision 7.0. For the last 7 years, CNBC TV18 has led the Digital India narrative and has also fueled a significant impact in India's digitization journey. And I'm very, very proud to be associated with this campaign. And all of us at SAP, we are very happy to extend all possible support to take the Digital India vision to the next level. So thank you so very much to the entire team at CNBC.
Sindhu, thank you very much for joining us. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
India decided to start on its journey 2015 towards the digital mission and vision. How do we create connectivity? How do we leverage technology to improve the lives of every single person in the country?
CNBC TV 18 presents Digital India Vision 7.0, powered by MasterCard. Ushering in India's Techade on 24th August 2022.
Hello and a very warm welcome to CNBC TV 18 presents Digital India Vision 7.0, powered by MasterCard. I'm Mugdha Kalra. 7 years ago, Digital India Mission was launched with 3 key goals: provide quality digital infrastructure to every citizen, provide all public services digitally on demand, and empower citizens to participate in this tech revolution. We have come a long way since then. Programs such as the National Digital Literacy Mission and the Disha Digital Literacy Program are helping millions of Indians to get upskilled. And 5G truly will be a game changer. Network 18 has been at the forefront to highlight the success of this mission through its Digital India Vision initiative. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Nivriti Rai, Country Head Intel India and VP and GM Automotive Solutions Group IFS at Intel Corporation. Welcome to the show, Nivriti. Well, Intel India has been implementing series of initiatives to strengthen its support for the Digital India program. Could you talk about some of them?
Absolutely, Mugdha. Before I start, let me tell you about my journey as Intel India head. India decided to start on its journey 2015 towards the digital mission and vision. How do we create connectivity? How do we leverage technology to improve the lives of every single person in the country? When I took over this role, I already had a role cut out for me on how could I leverage technology, how could I leverage the Intel India strength, the capability, and drive towards this mission. I looked at the goal that India had set for itself, $1 trillion economy boost coming from digitalization. India already had begun its journey towards driving changes through cell phone-driven usages. India is the largest consumer of data. More than, I would say, 12 gigabyte per person per day. How did that happen? Because we made data affordable. When we made data affordable, the consumption obviously went high. We have 1.4 billion people, and we enabled data to be available to everyone. How can we drive that journey and create value for the people such that they can use data, not just for entertainment and consumption, but for education, but for health, but for driving critical economic development for the villages, for the cities, for everyone.
Let's talk about 5G. How do you see it redefine the internet ecosystem in the country?
Yes. So let me just start with a little bit of a definition. Up till now, 2G, 3G, 4G enabled first voice calls, then enabled data, and a lot of other usages came about. What I like to say is, till now, up till 4G, technology was connecting everyone. You could make phone calls, you could access, through voice or through video. Now 5G will connect everyone and everything. So multiple devices will have communication. Multiple opportunities will rise, even though, some amount of infrastructure investment will be required to enable all of the 5G benefits. But everyone and everything will be connected.
Nivriti, we spoke about startups and we spoke about unicorns. How do you see digital technology as an accelerator for tech-based startups in the country?
So far, India was known as a software nation, and a bunch of our startups were focused on software. And not just software, but software focused on e-retail. with a lot of digitalization, with access to compute, with access to network, with access to a lot of such infrastructure. I'm so excited that now we are seeing deep tech startups. You talk about, quantum mechanics, quantum internet. You talk about blockchain, safety, security. You talk about robotics, automation in factories with private 5G, AR, VR for surgeries as well. So a lot of this connectivity, a lot of this, distributed compute, a lot of this access to cloud, all of this driven through digitalization is giving rise to these startups.
Well, time now for closing comments. Would love to have a message on the initiative by CNBC TV18 on the Digital India Vision 7.0.
I love the fact that you are reaching out to people. Our messages can be heard. You are, enabling people to see what value can be created through technology. I am seeking partners. So when people hear about, different programs, they'll reach out and connect. The collective intelligence can create much better solution. And I want to end with, this is a quote that just came out based on a question that somebody asked me, is technology is the cheapest way to make a difference in somebody's life. Otherwise, technology by itself is lifeless.
Nivriti, this was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time and all those wonderful insights. I wish you and Intel all the very best.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the lovely support that you provide us.
CNBC TV18 presents Digital India Vision 7.0, powered by MasterCard. Ushering in India's Techade on 24th August 2022. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.